Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of November 4th through November 8th. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also talk about how we can use dividend payers and several option strategies to generate income while we wait for our swing trading stocks to set up. So let's get started. Welcome RT Fairchild. Thank you for joining us in the chat today. Hope you all are doing well. We'll see how many people remember to turn their clocks back. Otherwise, they'd be waiting for us for quite a while. So hopefully all of you that observed daylight savings remember to set your clocks back last night. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for November 4th through November 8th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. Our notes documents contain links to bonus videos, to the tools and resources we use to trade our top swing trading stocks. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this trading week, titled Make Money Trading in November 2024, we'd highly recommend that you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, trading strategies, trade ideas for this trading week. We keep all of our weekly trading game plan notes, documents in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer to the notes for part 1 as well as previous weekly trading game plans. And you can find a direct link to that Google Drive folder also in the description box below. Welcome, Gerald Fitz. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So firstly, we'll quickly go over some of our trade updates for this week, and we'll look at those charts in Webull. So firstly, we got stopped out of our latest long position in Shutterstock. We'd entered in Shutterstock on 10/21 at 30.26. We got stopped out on the 30th at 31.41. For a nice profit of ROI about 3.8%, which equates to a monthly ROI of about 12.7%. So congratulations to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who also profited from this swing or scalp trade on Shutterstock. And again, we'll see if Shutterstock comes back down if we get an opportunity to swing or scalp trade Shutterstock again. So please let us know if you were able to profit from that scalp or swing trade in Shutterstock. Secondly, we went long on USOI. USOI is a monthly dividend payer on oil. So oil dipped below 70. I think it bottomed around 67 something. We have USOI in our shopping list. So this is an example of a stock that we traded off of our shopping list, as you'll see. And we wanted to get into this USOI. So we took a sizable position in USOI when WTI bottomed around 67 or so and then turned back up. So we entered on the 28th at 662.81. And again, this is one we've been watching in our shopping list where we trade whenever oil dips down below 70 bottoms. We like to scoop up this juicy monthly dividend payer on oil. So just a quick reminder, although I don't recommend anyone blindly follow us into or out of trades, it would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career. To see when we're entering or exit trades, you can get real-time notification by joining our Patreon. Also, we have several channels in our Discord with additional alerts for our Patreon members that I'll quickly show you. So firstly, we have a Thinkorswim TOS alerts channel in our Discord. I also have price alerts set in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they get automatically posted to the Thinkorswim alerts channel in our Discord. If we do follow that up with a trade, then I'll reply to that alert in our Thinkorswim channel so we can see when SLP made a new 52-week low, see when we got stopped out of Shutterstock, etc. When Shutterstock hit our stop. If it's a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim alert, then I'll post that our trade alerts channel, like when we bought back our covered calls on yen. And then we also have a real-time alerts channel with real-time alerts generated from our automated systems when stocks are moving up, breaking out near a support or price target level. And you can hear how you can use that real-time alerts channel for, again, any kind of trading, swing trading, scalping, day trading. Great resource for also seeing sector rotations, changes in sentiment, reversals in the market. So again, in the alerts channel, you can see when the short on the 20-year treasuries was moving up. So that means again, price 20 years TLT moving down, TTT moving up, Materialize moving up, a biotech moving up, FAZ moving up. That means financials moving down. So again, great way to see sector rotations, changes in sentiment. And again, another resource if you're a shorter term trader or swing trader, scalper, etc., to hopefully help you make money. Welcome, Douglas PC, to Ricky Khan, Fairchild. Thank you all for joining us. So if we quickly look at those trade updates in Webull, look at the chart for Shutterstock first. So Shutterstock, we got in on the 21st, out on the 30th. We go back to the 21st. So we got in on that dip there. Again, if you got the notification of our entry, I have a tendency to be a little early. You could have gotten in at an even lower price. And then you can see we got stopped out when it spiked down on the 30th. If you happen to still be in Shutterstock, you can see it's pretty much flattened out at that R2 pivot point. So we'll see. It's kind of unclear which direction Shutterstock is going to go. But again, they announced positive earnings, got a nice pop. We got, again, a nice profit on that. If it does swing back down, again, we could take another swing or scalp trade on Shutterstock again. Again, USOI, again, based on oil. So we saw oil dip down in the 67s, looking for a bottom in oil. Got in on the 28th at 62.81. So I didn't quite get the bottom, but you can see when it bottomed, it started turning back up. That was our entry point. If you got that notification, and you might have gotten an even cheaper price. And then we saw oil rally back up over 70, broke down slightly on Friday, back down under 70. You can see I've currently got a stop sitting at 64.27. It's kind of unclear if oil's going to regain that 70 level or break down further. We do get stopped out. Again, we'll look for another entry point when WTI bottoms, swings back up. The last earnings date on USOI, I believe, was 10/22. So the next one should be about 11/22. So we'd like to get back in before their next ex-dividend date, if possible. So Ricky Khan says USOI, largest position. Yeah, that's a great dividend payer. It pays close to $1 per share. So again, it's one of our shopping list stocks. We always like to try to get in when oil breaks down below 70. So I'm gonna grab a quick drink and we'll go over our updates to our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, you can still get up to 40 free fractional shares of stock by opening and funding your account with as little as $2,000. You can get 40 free fractional shares of stock worth $3,000 to $3,000. If you fund it 500 to below 2,000, you get 20 free fractional shares of stock. And if you'd use our affiliate link in the description box below, you can get all your fractional shares of stock and the other promotions that they happen to be offered. They frequently offer bonus cash or bonus interest on cash invested in your account. You can get all those using our affiliate link. As you see, we use Webull for our market analysis, our due diligence, and majority of our trading. So again, we'd love it if you'd use our affiliate link, get your free fractional shares of stock, and help support our BeachBum trading community. So here's our updates to our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. Firstly, a new one we're adding to our watch list is INTT. This is InTest Corp. I identified this as a multiple bottom in FinViz on the 31st, added it to our watch list, and also sent notification to our Patreon members. So just to jump ahead a little bit, if you join our Patreon, you can get access to our watch list Google Sheet, and also I will send out notifications when we add things to our watch list, either in our Discord and or via email to our Patreon members. So what we'll see is INTT had earnings on the 1st before market open. They announced very positive earnings. It got a big pop on that. So if our Patreon members got that notification, we're able to take advantage of that pop in INTT. Congratulations on that. Please let us know if you were able to take advantage of that notification and positive earnings on INTT. We'll see if it comes back down and we can get a swing entry in INTT. I'd also like to do a little bit of due diligence on that for a second. So let's look at INTT and FinViz. Just a quick reminder, you can find links to the tools and resources we frequently use in the link section of our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. So if we go down, we can look at FinViz first, and then also ChartMill. We'll look at INTT, and it's a semiconductor, a US-based semiconductor company. See, again, it was identified as a multiple bottom around the 645 or so level. And then their earnings was on the 1st. They were beat on EPS, missed a little bit on revenue, but you see the very positive reaction it got, and then it did correct a little bit. See, they are profitable. This is optionable. It looks like it has a small dividend. They've had in the past a dividend, a pretty low float, so 11 million, 12 million, not a lot of short interest. So you see it declined on their last earnings when they missed, but it was still profitable. And then again, when they got a pop, it's above that short-term moving average. See plenty of potential upside up into the mid-20s. So again, we see that little bit of a pop. See what they do, manufacturing and testing, broad range of markets, so automotive, defensive, aerospace, electronics, fiber optics, medical, machining, telecom, semiconductors. So I kind of like this, as a semiconductor play. They've got a broad range of industries. See, they've got positive net income for the past 3 years. Positive EPS. So again, a profitable semiconductor, kind of another one of these under the radar, kind of like Hymax and some of the others we've identified. And their quarterly net income's been positive, EPS been positive. We see again, achieves 46% gross margin, very positive. Again, we'll see if we get a little bit of a correction, getting an opportunity to join in INTT. Look at them in Chartmill as well. So again, you can find the link to Chartmill on our homepage as well. And we see very positive setup right now. Average growth, average valuation, average profitability, a little average health. Look at the fundamentals, 5 out of 10. So average fundamentals for semiconductors, pretty good valuation and decent health. Look at their Altman Z, 2.49, not the best, kind of in the gray zone, but again, we see they're profitable, so not a real high risk of a default or bankruptcy at this time. Look at their technicals, and 3 out of 10. Short-term setup, 8 out of 10. So again, after looking at all of this, when that was identified as a double bottom, I added it to our watch list, notified our Patreon members. We also, as you'll see, we have a channel in our Discord stock watch list where if I add anything after our watch list Google Sheet has been generated, then I post that also to a stock watch list channel in our Discord that our Patreon members have access to. So you can see on the 31st, I added INTT, and we'll also talk about the addition of INFU to our Bullpen Stocks, and we'll look at that in a few minutes as well. So let me know if any of you have had any experience with INTT, traded it before, any experience with the company. What do you think of them? I think this is a good addition to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. Why or why not? Good morning, Sydney Osborne. Thank you for joining us. So the next one on our top swing trading stocks to watch list that we've had for a while is Perion Networks. It's been trending up, as we'll see in our watch list Google Sheet. Let me just jump over ahead again to that. Is again, you can get access to our watch list Google Sheet. It gets automatically regenerated with our watch list, our bullpen stocks, our shopping list, etc. at the end of each day. And you can get 24/7 access to our watch list Google Sheet. And also I've got a couple videos on how you can use this to watch our watch list Google Sheet to watch our top swing trading stocks to watch. But our watch list Google Sheet also contains information about their earnings date, dividends, etc. So I just wanted to point that out now that Perry has their next earnings on 11/06. So I'm kind of leaving Perry in our top swing trading stocks to watch list until at least after their earnings. So we see there's INTT. You can also see support and resistance levels, risk reward profiles, etc. Dividend information, optionality. Also, we've recently added their PE and their average true range. So you can see their range. Also kind of whether they're expensive or cheap, and choose the one that you would like from our watch list Google Sheet. So we mentioned Perry. Again, I'll leave that in there until after their earnings, even though it's kind of trended up. You can hear our previous thesis on why we've been watching Perry via the bonus link to that video in our notes. Thank you for the positive feedback, Gerald. Appreciate it. So the next one that we put on our watch list back on the 23rd was ULTY. ULTY is one of the YieldMax monthly dividend payers, got a diverse portfolio of some of the top tech stocks, etc., as well as some crypto related stocks. You can hear our previous reviews of ULTY. We've looked at it a couple times in some detail. You can listen to those previous reviews via the bonus links in the notes. And you can see again, it's relatively close to support, a little bit up. So if we look at these charts in Webull as well, another nice feature of Webull is you can have all kinds of different watch lists. So I've got my top swing trading stocks to watch list. So we see INTT, saw that pop. They announced earnings before market open, big gap up, hit that resistance point, kind of popped up above it, came back down. And you can see by the end of Friday, it was back down to this pivot point. So we'll see if we, in the double bottom, I think they identified was in the 640-ish area. So we'll see if it corrects further or if it continues to trend up. Perry, again, it's been trending up. I believe several of our BeachBum traders already have positions in Perry, and congratulations if you're in profit already on that trade idea on Perry. Again, we'll see if they happen to miss on earnings. It has had a tendency to drop if they miss earnings. So we'll see if that gives us the opportunity to enter. If it continues to run up, we'll take it out of our watch list. ULTY, again, you can hear our previous discussion on ULTY, how it has a tendency to kind of bottom in the middle of the ex-dividend cycle. And if we can get one of those bottoms before the next ex-dividend, take it low, probably sell right before the next ex-dividend date, as we mentioned in our previous discussions. Again, when we get an updated ex-dividend date, you'll be able to see that in our watch list Google Sheet as well. RT says ULTY might reverse split. I haven't seen an announcement of that yet, but we'll keep our eyes out for reverse splits. Hasn't really been trending that low, so we'll see if they do a reverse split on ULTY. Okay, next we'll talk about our bullpen stocks. If you're new to our community, the concept of bullpen stocks are ones that might not have the setup right now to warrant membership in our top swing trading stocks to watch, but I've identified they may in the near future. So we put them in the bullpen. If their setup improves, then we can move them, put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch. If they run away or break down, then we can just take them out of our bullpen and revisit them in the future. So here's another recent addition to our bullpen. I added at after market on the 28th. Again, set notification to our Patreon members of the addition of BITI. BITI is a short ETF on Bitcoin. This was identified when Bitcoin hit a new all-time high recently. We'll see right after I sent this notification to our Patreon members, Bitcoin made a new all-time high, so I had to update the 52-week high on Bitcoin in our notes. So the current 52-week high on Bitcoin is 74485. The entry point you want to use for BITI is not the long version. BITO is the long version of the ProShares long ETFs on Bitcoin, but it degrades over time. So the high in BITO doesn't necessarily correspond to the high in Bitcoin. So for an entry in BITI, I watch for the new all-time highs in Bitcoin via /BTC in Thinkorswim, or as I'll show you, BTC USD in Webull. You can hear our previous discussions in comparison of BITI to SBIT, which is another short ETF on Bitcoin via the bonus link to the video in the notes. Just want to jump over to Webull and show you how you can watch Bitcoin in Webull. So I've also got a crypto watch list. So again, you can have all kinds of different watch lists in Webull. So I have a video about how to build this crypto watch list a long time ago. And you can see I've got Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, etc., Ethereum. So again, we have another video that shows you how you can build this watch list of cryptocurrencies in Webull. So you can watch the Bitcoin price. Their high isn't quite the same as the Thinkorswim high, but again, you can watch the trend when it spikes up. You can take a position in BITI. So again, congratulations to any of our BeachBum traders who were able to catch that high, trade that trend back down upon notification of the addition of BITI to our bullpen. Part of the reason I have it in our bullpen and not in our top swing trading stocks to watch is, in my humble opinion, I think if Trump happens to win, I think we'll get a new all-time high in, or at least a new 52-week high in Bitcoin. And that would be the catalyst to look at taking a position in BITI as that initial pop. And then we might get a sell the news event, and we might get a nice swing in BITI. Now, the next catalyst would be, again, if Trump wins. He's said he was going to fire SEC Chairman Gensler. And again, Gensler has been somewhat negative on cryptocurrencies, so that might be a future catalyst, but probably not until Trump would take office, which wouldn't be till early next year. So I think we might get a couple scalp opportunities, sell the news opportunities, shorting Bitcoin. And now, again, you can turn around and play it long as well, like with BITO, or we have several other long Bitcoin, long cryptocurrency ETFs in our ETF Google Sheet as well. So I hope that all helps. So the next one in our bullpen, one we looked at a while ago, is INFU. So INFU is a medical instruments company. So this was identified as having a good risk reward profile in one of my queries. You can hear our previous look quite a while ago on INFU. You can see their next earnings is 11.7 before market open. So again, if they happen to miss on earnings, might be a potential opportunity to enter on INFU. NEP, we've been watching NEP, NextEra Energy, for a while. You can hear our discussions on NEP as a utility stock, as a dividend payer, via the bonus links to the videos and the notes. SLP, Simulations Plus, another one we've been watching for a while. It's been downtrending recently, as we'll see. I've been watching for some support, looking for a place to enter. Also, you'll see I've got some puts that I'm trying to sell on SLP as another way to potentially pick up shares of SLP. And you can hear our previous thesis on SLP Simulations Plus via the bonus link in the notes. Welcome, Katon, trader also known as Easy Mike. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. And again, I'm taking Shutterstock out of our bullpen for now, as we did our trade, got our little swing, our scalp trade in Shutterstock, got stopped out. It looks like it's up a little bit. We'll see if it happens to swing back down, and then we can always take another look at Shutterstock. If we look at those charts in Webull as well, go to my bullpen watch list. Talked about BITI, so you can see the bounce in BITI when Bitcoin made its new 52-week high. So again, congratulations if you caught that bounce. Here's INFU. So again, it's been trending down. See if we can get it in the low fives. Did bounce up a little bit on Friday. And AP, again, we talked about that. Big earnings mess. been downtrending. Looks like it's got pretty stable support in the low 19s. So we're watching for an entry. It did look like they were holding their dividend for the month of November. So again, in our Google Sheet, you can see our Bullpen Stocks, again, support and resistance levels, risk-reward profiles, also their ex-dividend date. So yeah, the last ex-dividend, or the goes ex-dividend on 11/6. Looks like they're still going to pay out 91 cents. So again, we talked about the risk that they lost money, their last earnings, and there's a risk they might cut the dividend. But if you want to get that nice, dividend yield, 19% dividend yield on NEP, you have to get in before the 6th. So we may take a chunk of NEP. Again, watch out for a dividend cut in the future. SLP, again, been downtrending, I'm just watching it for a support level. It's down, in the 27s now. Just watching the level 2s, seeing where it's going to find some support. Okay, also, we always recommend you have your list of shopping list stocks ready. If stocks you want to buy, take advantage of any irrational reactions to earnings, corrections in the market, etc. Again, just a quick reminder, none of our content should be considered financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content should be considered for education and entertainment purposes only. But again, we still recommend you stay away from zombie stocks, zombie companies, zombie ETFs. We're still going to have high interest rates for some time, even if the Fed cuts 25 basis points as expected this week. We're still, in the 4s for quite some time. So companies not making money may be at risk of insolvency, bankruptcy. If you want to see if a stock is at risk of bankruptcy or how many quarters till they might have to raise cash, do an offering, a reverse split, etc., you can use our biotech due diligence Google Sheet, not just for biotechs, but for any money-losing company. Calculate their quarters cash flow positive, see how many quarters before they might have to do an offering at risk of a reverse split. So again, you can see our watch list stocks also in the watch list tab of our watch list Google Sheets. We've got some of the Mag 7s, Disney, some of the yield maxes that we typically watch, APLY, TSLY, Intel, some dividend payers, JEPI, JEPQ, some REITs, land, LTC, O, STAG, etc. See land's getting attractive. I'd kind of like to see it come down in the 12s. But that's one a REIT we typically have swung trade more for price appreciation than for the dividend. And we've got others we watch for MP for rare earths, MSB for steel, and again, URNM for uranium. Again, USOI, I could see it dropping with the price of crude. And so that was prompted us to take that position in USOI. So again, you can also watch our shopping list stocks, see trends in the market, opportunities to buy any of the stocks on your shopping list in the shop list tab of our Google watch list Google Sheet. Okay, let me grab a drink and we'll talk about dividend payers. I've got some I want to look at, but if anyone has a specific dividend payers you want to take a look at, throw those up in the chat. We'll try to take a look at those. So we use our dividend payers Google Sheet to identify potential dividend payers with the yield, price appreciation, dividend payment schedule, um, category, etc. That fits our income desires for dividend payers. Again, you can do likewise, get access, 24/7 access to our dividend payers Google Sheet by joining our Patreon. So I want to highlight a couple that we've added to the ad sheet of our dividend payers. Firstly, Hamster1 asked us to take a look at NNN, and so we added that to the ad sheet of our dividend payers. I'll go to the ad sheet, do a find for NNN. So this is a REIT. So NNN REIT, see it paid a 56-cent dividend. So it's got a nominal yield of 5.92. See the net yield of 5.92, adjusted yield 3.65, pays a quarterly dividend. See the risk reward profile. So it doesn't have a whole lot of price appreciation. Need to plug in the performance. So let's see what that does. So again, you can access the FinViz profile via the link in the notes. So we take a look at NNN. Again, it's a retail REIT. See, it's steep decline. They just had earnings. They beat on EPS, beat on revenue, and yet it declined, just went ex-dividend on the 31st. So that's probably part of the decline, but again, steep decline. We'll see what the news was from that. The yearly performance, 14.33. If I plug that in, we get a net yield of 20%. So that's pretty attractive. Let's look at NNN a little more. So it is optionable, 5.3% dividend. Not a big discrepancy between outstanding and float shares, small short float, a pretty high debt, but again, that's typical of a REIT. Just got downgraded, so possibly part of the reason for the decline. Operating results, big, 5.5% decline on their results. So they obviously didn't like something about their results. I don't know if Hamster, I didn't see Hamster in the chat yet, but maybe if you have more detail about what they said in their results that people didn't like. I don't see anything. Again, you can see this is a feed from StockTwits, I believe, on the FinViz sheet. So another way to see some recent news. I don't see a reason. Rate cut news. Look at their description. Owns, invests in a developed property, leased to retail, long-term leases. The net income for the past couple quarters, it's positive, at a decline. EPS, get a decline. Past couple years, pretty stable. EPS relatively stable. So again, might be an opportunity if we zoom out on NNN a little bit. So we see it was pretty high. A lot of the REITs were. Again, bond yields went up. So mortgage rates went up. So that hit all the REITs. So again, this might be a halfway decent entry point. Not a whole lot of upside. Zoom out further. And got upside to about 60. So about 17 up. About 13 or so down. So, some still got, pretty balanced risk rewards, not a 2-to-1. Again, if bond yields keep going up, that'll put further pressure on the REITs. But again, this drop in NNN might be a decent opportunity. So its 52-week low is 37. So again, if you want to take advantage of that opportunity, again, it just went ex-dividend, so you're going to have to wait another quarter to pick up the dividend, but it's not a bad 6%, not bad. So 20% net, so not a bad REIT. If it comes down further, obviously the risk-reward profile would improve, so that might be attractive. So again, we've got it in our ad sheet of our dividend payers. And again, we can keep an eye on that. If it gets a more attractive risk-reward profile, higher yield, etc. If we get closer to the next dividend date, might be one worth taking a look at. So please all let me know if you've had previous experience with NNN as a dividend payer, as a stock to swing, etc. What do you think of NNN REIT? Please let us know in the comments and our Discord, etc. what you think of NNN. Again, I hope that all helps. Okay, the next one that I added to our ad sheet is T-bill, and I want to compare T-bill to BIL with the money market rates dropping down to about 4.5 and the bond yields popping up to about 4.5, above 4.5. I wanted to look at some of these bond ETFs. It might be more attractive to buy bonds or bond ETF than leaving the cash in money markets. I believe a number of our BeachBum traders buy a variety of these bond ETFs as a better income strategy than just leaving the cash in the money market. So here's T-bill, so the U.S. Treasury 3 months. So we'll look at the chart in FinViz in a second. Pays a monthly dividend, 21%. So it's got a nominal yield of about 5% right now. Net yield of about 5%. Pretty low performance, but again, these bond funds don't tend to move a whole lot. So currently it's pretty close to its 52-week low. Probably just went ex-dividend. They tend to trend down on ex-dividend. They go up for the month and then drop again. So we'll take a look at the chart. T-bill. So again, these bond funds, they drop when they go ex-dividend, and they rise towards the end of the month, drop again. You see the trend is generally upward, although the trend of the top's down a little bit. Let's see, again, 4.8%. Volume's pretty low, 1.3 million. AUM's very large, though. It's a very popular bond fund. It's treasury bills. So it's out 3 months. So if we compare that to BIL, we have that in the main page of our, so here's BIL. It's got a nominal yield 5.2%, net 5.11. It's also relatively close to its support. We look at it in FinViz. So again, similar behavior. It's got an AUM 33 billion, so again, very large AUM, pretty good volume, 7 million and 5.2. And again, this is a 1 to 3 month T-bill, so it's got a variety, 1 to 3 months, so it's going to benefit from the even shorter terms. Again, if we compare the yields of T-bill, 5.24 to bill, 5.2, so pretty comparable. So whichever one has the return, the schedule, it pays 37 cents, whereas T-bill only paid 21. So again, very comparable. So let me know, you prefer bill versus T-bill or some of the others. We've got IEI, IEF, again, other bond funds, and you can see the risk reward profiles of those. Also their time frames, etc., 7 to 10, 3 to 7. So again, with bond yields going up, money market percentages coming down, might be worth parking some money in some of these bond funds. Let me know which ones you like. K-Time says bill's pretty consistent. So again, we've got a variety. You can pick the one with the yield and the potential price appreciation, the schedule, ex-dividend dates. You see the ex-dividend dates in our Google Sheet as well. So I hope that all helps. Okay, the next one I specifically want to look at is our main sheet. It's STM. This is another semiconductor that popped up in my queries as possibly being of interest for a swing trade. We'll take a quick look at it. It's in our dividend payers. So here's STM. Again, ST Microelectronics. It's a Netherlands-based semiconductor company. See, it pays a 28. There, it showed up in the dividend payers as having being close to its 52-week low, close to its support level, having an attractive yield. So it's got a nominal yield of about pretty low, 0.97, only 8-cent dividend, so not a great dividend payer. Adjusted yield 4.46, so its performance has probably not been great this year. Negative 28.54. Again, we'll look at the charts for STM quickly. So we see it's been trending down, just announced earnings. Looks like they beat on EPS, missed a little bit on revenue, and pays a 8-9 cent quarterly dividend, so not a great dividend payer, 1%. So looking for more price appreciation is optionable. So, and Netherlands-based semiconductor. See a precipitous drop. So it's been trending down as high as 55 relatively recently. Again, so it looked like, potential risk reward profile, not too bad, up to 55, potential double, but, some risk to the downside, 15 or so. So I didn't really put it on a watch list right now. Also wanted to look at it in chart mill in a second. Not highly shorted. We look at what they do. Designing, developing, manufacturing, marketing products, wide array of applications, automotive, industrial, electronics, communication. So again, broad controllers. Net income, got a lot of income. EPS, but declining. Positive, but declining. Quarterly. And net income declining significantly, EPS declining. So their big drop. Cuts guidance, slow automotive. So that looks like the automotive sector hurt them. So if we look at them in chart mill as well. So growth a little below average, profitability very high, health average, valuation pretty good. Look at their fundamentals. So 6 out of 10, so it's pretty good. Very highly profitable. Valuation not too bad. Highly profitable again. Altman Z 4.4, not in any danger of bankruptcy. Technical rating 0 right now, and setup's pretty low, 3 out of 10. So again, another reason why I didn't add it to our top swing trading stocks to watch or our bullpen, but one that I wanted to keep an eye on. And these semiconductors, you know, Soxel, et cetera's been down. I think there's a couple semiconductors that we might, like INTT, STM, might be able to take advantage of a swing back in the semiconductor sector. Please let me know what you think of STM. Is it, you know, more as a swing trade stock than really a dividend payer? Have you traded it before? Do you have any insight into the company other than what we just looked at? Love to hear your feedback also on STM. Okay, let me check the chat real quick and see if there's any other dividend payers that you want to look at. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and talk about option strategies as well. Okay, if I missed your dividend payer that you want to take a look at, I apologize. Please throw those back up in the chat. I'll leave our dividend payers sheet up. I can always come back and take a look at those. Again, if you'd like us to do research on a dividend payer, you can put that in the comments to our videos, tag us in our Discord, let us know. We can add those to our systems and our dividend payers Google Sheet as well. Also have a whole series of videos on how to find the best dividend paying stocks. You can listen to that series of videos via the link to the note in the notes. So in addition to using dividend payers, we also use several option strategies to generate income. We wait for our swing trading stocks to set up. We sell covered calls against our positions, buy them back, sell them when they're going up, buy them back when they're coming down. And we use our covered calls Google Sheet to do what-if analysis on various strategies for selling and buying back covered calls. You can hear how you can use our covered calls Google Sheet as well to do what-if analysis on your covered call strategies via the bonus link to the video in the notes. And you can get 24/7 access also to our covered calls Google Sheet, as also our puts ROIC, as you'll see by joining our Patreon. We sell puts against stocks going down, buy them back when they're going back up. Again, we have our criteria, which ones we were willing to consider, ones that we're willing to own, have a decent risk reward profile. And we use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to help us identify opportunities to sell and then buy back puts. I wanted to, and again, you can get access to our puts ROIC Google Sheet 24/7 by also joining our Patreon. I made a recent enhancement to both the watch list and research sheets in our puts ROIC Google Sheet. I added a column for their next earnings date. So we've got a ER date column AA currently, and the watch list and research sheet. So I want to highlight those, take a look at how you can use those to select stocks that you may want to either sell puts on or buy them back before or after earnings. So if we go on in the watch list, main watch list sheet of our puts ROIC, see here's column AA as the earnings ER date. So it's the next earnings date. If we know what that is, now we'll fill those in more as we go forward. But I also wanted to show you how you can filter on that column. So you could select stocks, and as if you want to sell a put on only stocks before or after their earnings, and you can select the filter feature in the Google Sheets and select the ER date column. Then we can filter by condition. We can say, okay, we just want the date is before today. So those that have already had their earnings before today, we only want to consider those. We can do that. We want to only consider ones that have earnings upcoming, as we think we might get a better premium to an irrational reaction to their earnings. We can say, okay, the date's after today. Again, then we could see just those stocks that have upcoming earnings. Again, if we think we're going to get a irrational reaction to their earnings and take advantage of that. So again, you can now use that earnings date to filter and select stocks that you think might have an attractive and advantageous reaction to their earnings, or stay away from those. You might not want to sell, or you might want to cancel your sell if they have upcoming earnings and you think might have an irrational reaction. So I hope that all helps. Let us know, what you think of that. If you like that enhancement, again, we'll fill in more of the earnings data as we get ones in our database we'll fill in, and the other ones I'll have to manually update as we go forward. So a couple updates to our research sheet, and then we'll just quickly go through some of the others. As I lowered the strike price on advanced auto parts from 37 to 30. Again, we talked about the auto parts industry, I think it was last week, with genuine auto parts, negative sentiment on the industry. AAP dropped below that 37 strike, so we lowered that one. Also, cosmetics industry, we've been talking about that. Estee Lauder had poor earnings, poor guidance. They dropped precipitously, and so we lowered that strike price from 84 to 65. Again, if you'd like us to research, add any stocks for puts to our automated systems, to our puts ROIC Google Sheet, please let us know. The symbol, the strike price, the expiration dates, we plug them into our automated systems. We'll update our puts ROIC Google Sheet at the end of each day. And we've got a whole series of videos on how you can use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to make money trading options, trading puts, option strategies for beginners with examples, and a whole playlist of how you can make money trading options via the options playlist on our YouTube channel. I've been adding more sells on puts on various options. So as companies are having negative reactions to earnings, we identify those opportunities. You can see when they're dropping, they'll turn green. If they're dropping, red if they're bouncing back up. So we look for sells when they're highly green. We've had this sell out on Intel for a while. I've got the sell out at 315. We did see some negative reaction in semiconductors and Intel. And now I've got their earnings date. So they just announced earnings. There was some negativity to their earnings, but it didn't quite hit my sell price yet. But again, if we get more negative sentiment, semiconductors, maybe I'll hit that sell in Intel. Still got one out on Siri, although Siri's been trending up. Their earnings date was 11/1. They lost money on their earnings, so maybe it'll come back down. So I've got a sell out at the 23 strike, which is near Their recent 52-week low at 245, so it's near the recent high. Give me about 7%. That one on the up 13%. So again, bring these puts, we're looking for, better than money market return. Money market return is now down to 4.5. So selling puts is looking more attractive nowadays. Also got this sell on Celsius at 30. We looked at that recently. Got it set at 4, which is the 52-week high. It was declining. Did bounce back up on Friday. And now we can see their earnings. They just announced earnings, so must have been positive. It's bounced back up. Talked about the sell on end phase at 75. Well, I think we looked at that last week. I've got a sell out at 590, which is a recent high. Give me a 6%. Right now, the premium's less than 2. So I need a pop in end phase, negative sentiment in solar. Also, as I mentioned, I've got a sell on NEP. So at 1750, at 120, be at 5.19. So we can look at buying shares, selling puts on NEP, or some of both. Similarly, SLP, similar Thesis. I've got to sell at 330 for 9%. See, right now it's only 2%. See this SMCI, although I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole as they could get delisted. Also, we still got our sellout at Shutterstock at 30. Again, it's trended up. We do get a correction. They just announced earnings as well, so got that set at 240. Moderna, again, we've talked about. It's at 4% right now. It's been making new highs recently at 50. So if you want to scalp some puts in Moderna, get a 4.3, 4.4. It's another 4%. We talked about Celsius. Right now is at 4%. So again, we'll continue to look for opportunities to sell puts if we just get, some additional volatility. The VIX spikes up a little bit, get some more volatility, get some downtrending in some of these stocks and some of these sectors. Maybe some of those puts have hit. Again, now if you want to set them, ahead of earnings, take advantage of irrational reactions to earnings or avoid irrational reactions to earnings, you can see their earnings dates now in our puts ROIC Google Sheet. Again, let me know if you want us to add anything to our systems, if you want us to look at any other puts, put that in the comments to this video or any of our videos, or contact us in our Discord. Again, we'd love to have you join our Discord. Our Discord's free to join, with the exception of a few channels I pointed out that are exclusive to our Patreons. We do have a whole channel to discuss options trading, as well as trading other asset classes, other trading styles, so you guys can talk 24/7 about trading. I know several traders have asked about a channel where you can just chat and not have to jump between YouTube chats during the day, and you're more than welcome to chat 24/7 in any of the channels of our Discord. Again, our Discord's free to join. You can find a link in the description box below. If you do want us to specifically look at something, please tag us in the Discord. We're BeachBum Trading, all lowercase, no other characters, symbols, etc. Anyone else is an imposter, and we wouldn't contact you or send you a friend request without notifying you previously, and anyone who does so is an imposter, and please report and ignore them. So I'll check the chat real quickly, see if I missed anything. If I did miss your question or the stock you wanted to look at, please throw those back up in the chat, and then I can quickly take a look at those. I apologize if I missed your question or stock previously. RT's asking about leaps, long-dated calls or puts. Again, I haven't really looked at leaps. Leaps, if you're not familiar with those, they're usually, I'll have to do a short video or something, or chat GPT on the actual definition, but I typically view those as a year out. The definition may be shorter than that. Again, our option strategies really focus on a 40-day window. Occasionally, I go out to the Januaries just because the premium is more attractive. So I look at the various premiums and using Webull typically. And for some of the stocks that we're willing to own, like a Disney or something like an Intel, I might look at also the delta. I want a delta under 30 or less. I want a premium, at least $1. At least 5% is what I'd like. So typically it's only those stocks that we're pretty comfortable with owning long term that I'd look at a longer dated option for. So you can see these puts on some of them, Disney, Intel, etc., where the premium is more attractive for the longer dated put than the shorter dated one. But they're pretty exceptional. I'd prefer to stay within that 40-day window whenever possible. So if there's any other our BeachBum traders that trade leaps, have experience how to trade leaps, please share that with RT and our other BeachBum traders. Bellow Dogs asking about VKTX, the pharmaceutical, I believe. Get the FinViz chart back up. So I know this had a huge pop in March, big pop recently. Negative earnings, typical, it's biotech. They lose money. Not a lot of discrepancy between outstanding and float. Reasonably high short float, so it might, give you a bit of a short squeeze. Look at the weekly; it's pretty high. It's been as high as 100, down as low as 50 recently. So, typical biotech. High risk reward. Lose a lot of money. I'm not going to do it right now today, but I would highly recommend that you use our biotech due diligence Google Sheet and do a quarter's cash flow positive in addition to further due diligence in Chartmill, etc. And I can quickly look at them and, well, we know it's going to be pretty negative because they're money losing biotech. I'll look at not real high debt, so there's their big pop. Breast weight loss medication hopes got a big pop. So I'd say, protect your profits if you're already in that. Very high right now. Again, on that news. So looks like he potentially got some sell the news action. Again, typical pop on biotech news. Again, protect your profits. You probably need some further news. So again, I'm not going to do it today, but If you want to look in more detail about the future catalysts, etc., for BKTX, we can do that. I would highly recommend that you do that. We look at them quickly in ChartMill. So it's got a pretty positive technical rating, positive health, so that's good. Growth's pretty negative. Valuation's very negative. Profitability, obviously, they don't make any money. Maybe you're looking for a buyout from one of the others, Lilly you mentioned, but they're high valuation. I don't think they'll get bought out. They get bought out when they're low. So fundamentally, Holton Z's good. So they looks like they've already raised the capital that they need to. I would, be leery of further offerings. Technical, good. So yeah, it's got a good technical rating. Bad setup right now. It's been trending up quite a bit, so I like that. So again, if you can catch those news, again, I'd recommend doing further due diligence on future catalysts, watch out for earnings, etc. So I hope that all helps. Let me know. Hope you all like this content. Please smash the like button on our videos. Help us try to get the YouTube algorithm to someday show us some love. We really need your help with directly sharing our content with other traders. Invite them to join our chats, join our Discord, etc. Also, please let us know what we can do to improve our weekly trading game plans, improve our videos, our tools, our Google Sheet, our community, etc. Please put that in the comments to our videos or in our Discord. We've got a suggestion box, etc. Let us know what can we do to improve, to add more value for all of our fellow BeachBum traders. Again, I hope that all helps. Thank you all for sticking with me in the chat. Ran a little bit long today, but I hope that all helps. And good luck and have a great trading week.